So as we already seen the code, let me copy paste this and let me fix the issues whatever is there in this code, and then we'll take it from there. Rest of the stuff is same with what we have seen using Scala REPL by running SPT console. So I copy pasted the code. There are few issues with respect to code here. One is this output path. So what I'll be doing with respect to output path is I will concatenate with the target location here itself, so that if the directory exists, it will delete, otherwise it will not. And then we actually had the logic to validate our input path. If the input path doesn't exist, it will just print that input path does not exist. In actual implementations, we actually integrate with the logging tools, and we log this information into logs. Even if you don't want to write the exception, we will not print like this. It is not a good practice to print, but just to show how the validation will be typically done, I just placed this println. After that, if the path do exist, then it is checking whether the output path exists or not. If the output path exists, we are deleting that output path, which is nothing but the directory to which data should be saved to. And here you can see that we are using FS based APIs such as exists, delete, etc. to validate whether the path exists or not, and also to delete the file system. And this FS is nothing but of type Hadoop .fs from org.apache main package. And then rest of the stuff, we read the orders data. We filtered for closed as well as completed orders, and also for the orders which are placed in the month of whatever argument we have passed. Then we have extracted the order ID, and we have hard-coded one, because for joining this data set with others, we need to have this to be a paired RDD. To make orders filtered paired RDD, we actually had this hard-coded one. And then we actually read the order items. We extracted order ID from order items along with product ID and order item subtotal here. Then we have joined with orders filtered, and we extracted whatever information we want, which is nothing but the order ID and not order ID actually. We just need product ID and product revenue, and this gives us the product ID and product revenue. After that, we actually computed the product revenue here. Actually, this gives us the product ID and order revenue. Using that, we actually invoked reduce by key and computed product ID and product revenue. Once that is done, we try to read the data from local file system using core Scala APIs such as source.fromFile, and read the products data and convert it into a collection. And then we actually created an RDD out of it, and then we joined with the revenue by product ID, which contained product ID plus revenue. And then we look up into that by joining, and we got the product name and product revenue. However, as we have to sort the data in descending order by product revenue, we made product revenue as key, and then we actually gave product name as value. And then we have applied sort by key. In this case, we want to sort the data in descending order. This is one more fix we need to take care. And then again, once data is sorted, depending upon your requirement about how data should be preserved, you have to make necessary changes. So in this case, let's say I want to display product name as first field and the revenue as second field. Then again, you have to apply map, and you have to swap the fields. So first you need to understand how the output should be preserved, and based on that, you have to apply map after sort by key also. In most of the cases, we have to follow sort by key with map to get the data the way we want. And also that delimiter might be different. If you just try to save the sort by key output into the file system, it will actually save like this: product revenue, comma, product name. Whatever comes in each record, it will be enclosed in circular brackets, and then between those two values, there will be comma in this. So it is actually using two string of tuple, and using that, it is actually writing into the file system. However, our requirement can be significantly different. So in this case, let's say I want to preserve the data by using tab as delimiter. So one of the ways in one of the ways to concatenate elements in a collection or tuple in Scala is by using mkstring function. This is available on most of the collections. You just have to use that, and you have to tell the delimiter using which you want to concatenate here. So let me actually demonstrate here. So I'm creating a Scala session here, and then I'm saying val l equal to list of hello and world. And now if you want to convert this to a string, you can say l.mkstring, and you can specify the delimiter. You can specify tab or whatever character as delimiter. And now l.mkstring actually actually converted the list into a string. Same is the case with tuple. So instead of list of hello world, let's say I have created tuple with two elements. Tuple is not a class object. It is just an object with no names. There is no name of the object. There is no name for the attributes also. But there are few APIs which are available on tuple, and one of the API that is available on top of tuple is product iterator. So it will actually convert the elements into a tuple into a collection. Okay, so tuple is not a collection. Tuple is nothing but group of heterogeneous elements. If you want to convert a tuple into a collection, we have to use this t.product iterator. You can see the data type. It is of type iterator and element is of type any. Okay, that's how it actually gets the homogeneity. It will actually go to the generic type of the data type of elements which we are passing to the tuple, and it will convert into a iterator of whatever generic type is possible. In this case, it is any for strings. I think in most of the cases, when you actually say tuple.product iterator, it will actually create iterator of any only. And then you can actually say, because it's a collection, you can actually say make of string, and then you can give whatever character you want. You can see it has created a string, and the delimiter between these two elements from the tuple is tab character. And that's what we are trying to do here. We just took that product revenue and product name, and we have delimited using tab character between them. And then using save as text file, you can save the output to the whatever path you want. In this case, it is nothing but whatever we have passed earlier by reading the properties file and then concatenating with monthly product revenue. Now we can save this and then go to run edit configuration. So it takes multiple arguments. The first one is the environment in which we are trying to run. In this case, we have to pass it as dev. And the second argument is month, so that we can actually filter those orders which we are looking for. And then third argument is nothing but the local file system base directory for our products dataset. You can see here. So this program takes 3 arguments. So we can validate by going into run edit configurations and then updating the program arguments with appropriate values. So in this case, let's say 2014-01 and then C colon data. I don't know why it went off suddenly. Probably I might have typed some character here. Data retail underscore DB. This is the base directory, and we are concatenating with the products and the file name when we try to read the products data as part of our program. So we just have to give the base directory here and then apply and then click on OK. Also, this key with respect to the execution mode as part of application.properties is dev.execution.mode, and as part of our program, it is execution capital mode. So I just have to fix this by saying .m, and then we can save this, and then we should be able to run this program by right clicking on it and then run get monthly product revenue. So there is an exception here because we broke into multiple lines. It failed. We cannot just break like this. There's a different way of doing it. However, we will just put it in single line so that the issue is fixed for now. And then we can right click on it and then say run. Now you can see that first it is actually creating the Spark context. Once the Spark context is created, it actually processes the data and saved the output to the directory which we have specified. So we can actually go to the file explorer here. It's under C colon and then data. As part of the data, the output directory. So let me check the output directory here. It is nothing but C data, and then it should be monthly product revenue. Then why it is not saving to monthly product revenue? Ideally, there should be a directory here, but it is not showing up. Let me check if there is any issue with respect to our program. Okay, so the input path does not exist. So the reason why it is failing is as part of the application.properties, I have mentioned the Linux path. That's why it is failing. So what I'll be doing is I'll be creating 2 different categories. Okay, one is dev win, or let's say dev itself for Windows, and then for Linux, which is nothing but Ubuntu, I will be saying dev u. So when we actually validate from the command prompt using the Spark submit on Ubuntu, we'll be passing the first argument as dev u. For Windows, we'll just pass it as dev, and here we have to give the Windows notation for our path, which is nothing but data and then retail DB. So in Windows, we have to put like this to pass the Windows paths from this file. Same is the case with here. We have to say, and also one more issue will be we have to update here itself when it comes to the paths. So we need to make changes. Just for Windows, we have to make all these adjustments. Otherwise, we don't have to. Okay, earlier when I developed that code, I only validated on Linux or Mac. That's why there are some glitches here. So let me fix this a bit. We should not have forward slash here. Okay, the challenge will be the products one. Products is not that straightforward. So let me see what needs to be done here. Yeah, products anyway, we are actually passing from the command prompt itself. So we'll pass the entire path with respect to products instead of passing the base directory and rest of the stuff. We will just pass the entire directory as argument with respect to products. So what I will be doing is I'll be replacing this with the complete path of products. So I will be refactoring this. So to refactor, you can just say refactor and then rename, and then you can actually delete this. You can see wherever this variable is referred, it will be deleted automatically for you when you try to refactor. And now I can say products local path, and it automatically changed here also. So that's the power of refactoring. You should be able to leverage these things while using IntelliJ for the development purpose. I think now it should work. We have to just make the changes with respect to this edit configurations, and then we have to pass the complete path of products, which is nothing but products slash part hyphen m, I think part hyphen 5 zeros. That's it. There is no m in between. Now we can say apply, we can say okay, and then we should be able to run this. Now it seems to be fine. You can open this monthly product revenue and you can see the file. I will preview the data using Ubuntu because I don't have Sublime Text on my PC, and if you open with Notepad it will be a bit weird. So what I'll be doing is I'll be going to MNT C data monthly product revenue. There's a typo in revenue, but that is fine. And then we can open this part hyphen 5 zeros and you should be able to see the data. We got the revenue as the first element, and then tab, and then product name as part of our final output in the file. Okay. That being said, as it is validated using IDE on our Windows, now we should be able to deploy in the other environments. So I'll be demonstrating how to deploy locally so that you validate that this program will work as jar file locally before we ship into the actual production clusters and run it over there.